Lend your voice because you can. Lend your voice because it is within your human right to do so. That does not become an excuse. It is not an excuse. And it will not be flipped and turned on the people who are using their voices as an excuse to disregard their life, their human life. The thing that we all should be fighting for. Because I feel like our human life has been threatened over these past few years in general. People have been lending their voices to stand up against the IDF. What they've been doing to the Palestinian people. People have been lending their voice against generative AI for the things that it is doing to the people. And people are going to lend their voices to stand up against ICE for what it is doing to the people. All this hatred that has been enabled by our governments is not just going to get swept under the rug because, well, they're the ones with the power. What the fuck can we do about it? No. That is not how human beings work. And I think people have different ways of thinking of humans clearly over these past few years, because I've been seeing some people say, well, we should just be complying. We should just be sitting idly by. Like, let the law enforcement do their job. Let them work. Let them do their job. And if their job is kidnapping people and shooting them in broad daylight, who the fuck is going to sit by and let that happen? You have to be an insane person. That's just not going to happen. That is not how human beings work. And I don't know what warped reality people are attempting to push people in the direction of, but people aren't going to let themselves be pushed in that direction because it's fucking insane. It's like, no, that's not going to happen. And I don't know what this pretend confusion is all about. I don't know if it is because being enabled by all of this hatred and being put in front of all the people who are rejecting this hatred, seeing their perspective simply just doesn't benefit them. They're being enabled. They're the ones who want to see these things happen. They don't care for the human lives that are being taken. They don't care for the human rights, their human rights that are being, acted against. They don't. It is only until these things happen within their circles that it will matter. And God forbid that ever happens. God forbid it ever gets close enough in the way that it has for many other people's lives, not just in the West, in places like Africa, the Middle East. Like, God forbid, because people don't believe it'll happen to them until it does. And then they see what people have been fighting for all these years. It only then makes sense. And that is the fucking problem. There's nothing confusing about it. And no amount of compliance is going to stop these hatred-filled people from stripping your rights away. I don't understand. You may think it's for a good cause, but there is no way you can sit and tell me that shooting someone in broad daylight, starving people to death, creating non-consensual generative AI of random adult content for people you just see, like, you think that's normal? You think that's normal human fucking behavior? Like, what reality are some of these people living in? I don't know. But it is not, it's not going to be a reality that people accept to go towards. People are going to refuse. I don't know what you thought humans, I don't know what you thought humans were going to do about that reality that they're being pushed towards. But it's not acceptance. It's not compliance. People are gonna fight for their fucking human rights because it is within their human right to do so, and because it's just a natural human fucking response. Again, I don't know what convincing has been done to you. I don't know who you're trying to convince. It is not going to be the people. It is not going to be the humans who care for human life. It is. I don't know. I don't get the fake confusion. I don't get the people who. I mean, again, people literally voted for some of this shit. Again, they're being enabled. There's no benefit for them seeing perspectives outside of their own. And there's no. I'm not one to sit here and try and convince anybody. What I'm saying is, use your voice because it is within your right to do so, and it is also within your benefit to do so, because you will absolutely one day understand why people are fighting as hard as they are for their human rights to live as human fucking beings on this planet. I don't know how else to say it. It is not abnormal. It is not confusing. Use your fucking voice because you will need it. Whether you think you won't, you need to use it. Because you know in your heart of hearts, if you are a person with human... Sorry, my recording turned off, but again, whether you think protesting is a waste of time, whether you think it gets nothing done, it is within people's right to do so, and people are going to stand up for their human rights. That is just... The world has gone through too much shit for people to sit back and let it be dictated by people full of hatred and disregard for human life. There's nothing confusing about it. And it is not an excuse. It is not an excuse for any of the torment and straight up terrorism that is going on in our governments. You cannot flip the script. That is not how that works. And people will always prove to you that it is not how that works. People are fighting for their human rights as well as yours. Your human right. The thing that you think won't get taken away from you, because you may or may not be one of the people who also want to feel enabled by all this hatred, or are enabled by all this hatred, or have been convinced as you grew up to hate certain things because they are this or that. I don't know if you guys are pretending to believe that there should be no pushback, or that you like the conflict because you believe that there should be a villain in your story, whatever it is. The reality you're living in simply isn't the reality that everyone else is living in, and that's pretty much what it is. And that's always how it's going to be. People are going to be living in different realities, but I think one thing is always going to be certain, that human life shouldn't be dictated by, certainly not the people in our governments right now. There should be this base level of understanding that clearly all the people going out and lending their voices have, that human life is a precious thing that should be protected and fought for, and that is what humans are going to do. And that is what I encourage everyone to do. Whether you want to pretend I'm telling people to be violent, I don't give a fuck. You can convince yourself whatever the fuck you want. I'm people who understand, and that's about all I have to say. So thank you for watching. You know, fuck ICE, fuck the idea, fuck Trump, fuck Elon. A lot of list of fucks. Speak about the things you're passionate about, and be the change you want to see. That's it. Goodbye. I'll see you guys in the next video.